A delay in efforts to save 40 workers trapped under the rubble in India's northern state of Uttarakhand. They've been trapped since Sunday after a tunnel that was under construction caved in. Rescuers have been trying to create a passage to free them, and officials say a high-powered drilling machine has been airlifted from the capital to aid in those rescue efforts. Fellow labourers have been staging protests near the incident site, alleging that authorities aren't doing enough to rescue their colleagues. The 4.5-kilometre passage is part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Char Dham Road project, meant to improve connectivity to the country's most popular Hindu shrines. For more, Neha Poonia joins us. She's live in New Delhi. Neha, what are authorities actually planning to do next? I mean, now that this initial rescue plan appears to have failed.
Well, rescue operations, Dawn, have been going on for 4 days, but mostly in vain. The initial plan to push steel pipes that would be wide enough for the men to crawl out of the debris have now failed, officials are admitting, which is why they're now flying in heavier machinery from New Delhi, which they're saying will help them still go ahead with that plan. Those machines will be used to drill through the debris while simultaneously pushing those steel pipes in. The government is saying it's doing everything it can to ensure that the men are pulled to safety as quickly as possible, but anger and resentment on the ground is palpable. We saw protests on Wednesday with many colleagues of the trapped construction workers accusing the government of not prioritizing their rescue and not moving quickly enough. But the terrain has proved to be a challenge. There was a fresh landslide early on Wednesday morning as well, which has also hampered rescue efforts. The government says it's also consulted a Thai company that helped carry out that cave operation many years ago. So they say all options are on the table, and if the current option, which is to drill with heavier machinery, fails, and they plan to use the same machine to not push a pipe through, but to drill right through the debris until they reach those trapped men, but that could take days longer. And the government is indicating that this is a rescue operation that could go on for several more days. It's saying that it is in contact with the men who are trapped under the debris, that they are safe for now, and that a separate shaft has been created to make sure that they have access to food, water, as well as oxygen.
Now, the anger by the workers who are protesting over this, they're angry at the delays to the rescue efforts. They're also angry that this happened at all. Could there have been measures, perhaps, that could have avoided such an accident?
Well, the two parts to that, Dawn. Critics say that one aspect is looking at the construction norms in India. Often we've seen accidents like these where under construction bridges, tunnels, as well as flyovers have collapsed. The recent one being that bridge collapse in Gujarat, which saw more than 100 people being killed. And many critics are now saying it is important to look at construction norms and implementation of rules more closely. The government says we don't know yet what caused the collapse, and they've ordered a probe into the issue. The other aspect also is the ecology of the area. We're talking about the northern region of Uttarakhand, which is in the Himalayas. It's an ecologically sensitive region that's prone to earthquakes and landslides. Every monsoon season, we see landslides and bridges and roads collapsing because of how sensitive the terrain is. Earlier in the year, there was also talk of a town called Joshimath, very close to the area where this current under construction tunnel collapsed, which was sinking under its own weight. And that's also prompted calls to ensure there isn't unchecked construction taking place. And critics have for long said that governments need to study the ecology of the area before they go ahead with construction projects like these.
Hopes for a breakthrough with this rescue soon. Neha, thank you for that. Neha Poonia there in New Delhi.